You're listening to a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.
Tuesday night hoops here in Muncie, Indiana. It's the Ball State Cardinals taking on the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Two teams on a bit of a rough patch, looking to get back on track in such an important matchup. Good evening, I'm Roen Elbert, joined by my partner Dylan Budd. Like I just said, both teams in a bit of a rough patch. Ball State and Eastern Michigan both have lost 4 of their last 5. How can the Cardinals and the Eagles, for that matter, rebound tonight?
It's been tough sledding for either side, Roen, and one thing sticks out for either one, just on opposite ends of the spectrum. It's pacing. When I look at these teams' last 2 games, for Eastern first, it was that Ohio game where they really had the Bobcats down early, as much as 20 points ahead in the second half. They only held Ohio to 15 points in the first half. They really did a great job of getting out early, but kind of ran out of gas. Now, they come into Worthen Arena where you've got to face Ball State, who, with a lack of depth at that forward position and in their front court, they're known to play small ball and try and outrun their opponents. It became an issue in their last game against Buffalo because they made silly mistakes, had a lot of turnovers, and it led to just a comedy of errors that resulted in them losing pretty badly to a Bulls team that is one of the best in the conference. So Eastern is going to have to come in and dictate their style of pace and slow the game down and be physical down low. Ball State, on the other hand, they got to keep the speed up while staying disciplined and not making little mistakes.
I'm glad you brought up that last matchup for Ball State. At one point, they were trailing 41-25 at halftime to Buffalo. A little bit of a comeback in the second half, but it fell well short. I have to talk about the injuries, though, Dylan. Ball State tonight will be without Jawan Maxey, Caden Fish, Joey Hart as well. These are 3 players who have now missed 3 games in a row, including this one. And not only that, all 3 of them are highly impactful players.
Well, and on a team that has really struggled from beyond the arc so far, and especially in conference play, losing guys like Maxey and Hart is catastrophic. Both of them are such great spot-up shooters, especially Maxey being such a volume guy. He was kind of meant to be the replacement for Wanzi Gorosito, and we know how good he was from 3 last year. As for Caden Fish, I mentioned it briefly, but there's a lack of depth in the front court for Ball State, and for an Eastern team that has to come in and be physical down low and try to win this game in the paint, you want to have a guy like Caden Fish who can be physical and get in the nitty-gritty when he has to, but at the same time can play fast and be aggressive on the wing. So really tough losses are those 3.
And moving over to Eastern Michigan, sure, they've lost 4 of their last 5, but their last loss, an absolute heartbreaker, a buzzer beater from half court. I still can't believe that. We were watching it together at the end. I couldn't believe that ending. But Eastern Michigan, a lot of ups and downs. Beginning of the season, they got their first Power 4 win in over a decade against Cincinnati. How do we see a version of that Eastern Michigan squad compared to the one we've seen the last 5 games?
Well, so there's good and bad parts of having so much roster turnover, and the issue with it is that when it gets to moments like that, like these are guys that haven't played together for very long. It's 10 new faces for either side and just 4 returners. There's going to be a lack of chemistry no matter what. But the advantage of bringing in new talent is when things get dire, you can turn to your star players and say, here, this is the ball, go do something with it. And repeatedly, they will.
And for both of these teams, it's always an instant classic whenever they play here at Worthen Arena. The last 3 matchups here have been decided by a combined 5 points.
Well, you and I remember the last time these 2 teams played. It was the Jamari Hill game. We have some friends who had some amazing calls because he made an amazing play. It gets to overtime. He takes the ball up. Cardinals down 1 with, I believe, 7 seconds left. Takes it himself, coast to coast, completely yams it on an Eagle, and then it's a scramble at the end. The Eagles get a ball onto the right wing, go up for a desperation shot, and it clanks off the backboard for an amazing game with an incredible finish that was on SportsCenter the next morning. It was absolutely incredible to watch over and over and over again. And these 2 teams are in very similar spots to where they were last year. They're still really grappling at the bottom of the conference, really trying to find one of those last seeds as conference play transpires. But fireworks are going to come tonight, Roen. It's just a matter of which team.
In a matchup that what promises to be such a great matchup once again. Dylan, for both teams, I have one question. Who's going to be the hero?
Well, for Eastern Michigan, I got to go with Muhammad Habhab. This dude has an amazing story. The redshirt freshman had only one Division I scholarship offer in high school, and that was Central Michigan. He went to be a Chippewa, played one game, and then was redshirted. Comes over here to Eastern and has been one of the better players in the conference already. He's young. He's got great cardio, the second most minutes per game out of anybody in the conference. He can score on his own. He can collect boards. He's lanky. He's physical. He's fast. He's everything that you want in a stretch forward.
This is a matchup that either way promises to be great. We'll be right back with more Ball State men's basketball as they take on the Eastern Michigan Eagles. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Hey Cardinal fans, show your pride wherever you go with the Ball State Financial Debit Card, now featuring your favorite mascot, Charlie Cardinal. It's the perfect card for students, alumni, and lifelong fans, letting you show your Cardinal spirit with every purchase you make. And with Ball State Financial, you'll get all the convenience, security, and hometown service you deserve from people who love this community as much as you do. Explore the card in your hometown credit union at fcfcu.com/chirp. Ball State Financial, your hometown credit union.
From the bell tower to your smartphone, anywhere in the world.
Never miss Ball State Sports with SportsLink Digital.
We're back from Worthen Arena, just moments away from tip-off. Dylan, we were talking about Mo Habhab, how impactful he is for the Eagles. How about for the Cardinals?
Well, we're just under a minute now, and I couldn't be more excited. I think I can speak for both of us when I say we are fired up for a game like this. But turning over to the Cardinals, I mentioned that they have to be fast and physical, and one player comes to mind, Elbert James IV. 3 years at Ohio, now comes to the Cardinals with a lot of MAC experience, but you can't see him on radio. He's 6'3", 210, and probably has a body fat percentage of under 1. He is just this muscular specimen. He's so fast, physical. The best way to describe him is a bowling ball on the court. When he gets downhill, he might run a 4.5 40. You got to look out for him.
When we come back, starting lineups will be introduced. You're listening to Ball State men's basketball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
your home for live Ball State sports, streaming right in your timeline.
This is Sports Link Digital.
This broadcast is produced by the students of Ball State Sports Link and presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by the showroom. It's at the corner of McGalliard and Morrison Roads in Muncie, or you can just visit victorymuncie.com. Again, victorymuncie.com. Starting lineups being introduced for this 7 o'clock matchup between the Ball State Cardinals and the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Let's go through the lineups, starting with Stan Heath's squad and Ypsilanti with the Eagles. Starting off at guard, number 2, Carlos Hart, a redshirt senior, followed up by a Bowling Green transfer to junior Braylon Green. Then it's Addison Patterson with his 5th team in 5 years with the Eagles. At the 4, it's our impact player Mo Habhab at that 4 position. At the 5, rounding out the lineup for Eastern Michigan, Godslove Wabude, rounding out the lineup for Eastern Michigan. I'm just about to announce the lineup for the Ball State Cardinals. Starting off for them, it's Elmore James, who's had a very impressive last couple of games, double-digit points in both of them. Next up, number 5, Armani Ziegler. He has started the last 2 matchups. Then at the 3, it's Devin Barnes, coming off a 20-point performance against Buffalo. At the 4, it's Mason Jones, the only Cardinal to start every game he has played in this season. And at the 5, rounding out the lineup, the true freshman, the center, Preston Copeland, who has had a very impressive freshman season for Ball State. Michael Lewis, a really solid starting 5 despite the injuries.
Well, when I look at these 2 starting 5s, there's finally some consistency for either end. It was clear that with the newcomers from either team, that there's been some shuffling of the starting 5, and now as we finally get into MAC play, it looks like Ball State especially finally has found a consistent option, that being James, Ziegler, Barnes, Jones. And then at the beginning of the year, they really lacked a true center presence. But the emergence of true freshman Preston Copeland has been so fun to watch. He's so physical and fast for a guy that's as powerful as he is, 6'9", 215 frame. For Eastern, they found theirs a little bit faster than Ball State did, and when I look at this 5, man, they are dangerous. Carlos Hart and Braylon Green, that backcourt is awesome. Addison Patterson, really a well-rounded forward in the conference. Our impact player, Mo Habhab, is one of the best in the conference as well, really is as good as the next fella. And then Godslove Wabude. I watched him last year when these 2 teams played each other. The improvement has been significant. The biggest thing that strikes out to me, Wabude, as tall as he is and as physical as he is at 6'9" and 220, he is very fast. He can play so silky smooth, even with all of that frame to work with, and really provides some agility down low.
Yeah, the improvement of Wabude is unreal. He played 4 minutes against Ball State last year, now in the starting 5. Just moments away from tip-off now. The Ball State Cardinals go into their gray uniforms today, the red numbering with the white trim. The Eastern Michigan Eagles go into their all-black with the green E at the center of it, white numbering. The Eagles looking to right the wrongs. So do the Cardinals. Ball State looking for their first MAC win, looking to avoid falling to 0-3 in MAC play. Eastern Michigan looking to meet it at 500, 2-2.
This is a good matchup, Roen, not only with personnel and with high stakes early on in conference play, but even the uniforms. These are awesome.
That gray on black. The Cardinals in gray, the Eagles in black. As Preston Copeland and Wabude for Eastern Michigan, they prepare to tip it off. Eastern Michigan's on the right side. They'll move right to left. Ball State will go left to right.
The matchup that I see sticking out, Armani Ziegler will be lined up against Addison Patterson. It's a 6'7" versus 6'4" guy.
And we are underway. Cardinals win the tip. Devin Barnes to take it up the floor, coming off one of his best performances of the season, 20 points against Buffalo. He's on the right wing, dribbles with his right hand, now to his left. He gets it back from Copeland at the top of the key, a screen to his left from Jones. In a bit of a jam, drives in, lob up Jones, up and over. It's blocked by Wabude, out of bounds on the baseline. It stays with Ball State, but Godslove Wabude, what a play.
Already making his presence felt down low is Wabude, and multiple Eagles were there in rotation, and it led to the hole of Jones, but Wabude with his long arms were able to swat it down quick.
It's 8 on the shot clock. Mason Jones on the left wing. He pump fakes, goes over to Barnes at the top of the key. Lob up inside Copeland. Up and over, it swirls out. It's rebounded by Braylon Green for Eastern Michigan. Right to left they go. Green, the transfer from Bowling Green, had a year at Arizona State before that. Bounce pass top of the key to Patterson. The feed inside to Hab. Now near corner Green, thought about a three. Now he takes it with 13 on the shot clock. Swirls out. Ziegler the long rebound for Ball State. He moves quickly in transition with about a minute gone in this first half. No score yet. Ziegler, he stops and hesitates, has a screen to his left for Mason Jones. Now he drives near side, the kick out Jones. Barnes controls it straight away, drives in at the MAC logo, stops, puts it up with a tough take off the left side of the rim. Copeland, the offensive board, goes strong with it, misses it all. Have the board.
There's the physical presence that Ball State needed. Copeland wasn't able to bring it down there, but already physicality we're seeing.
Hab with a screen on the right side of the perimeter for Green. Pick and roll Hab. The kick back outside the green. A little hot potato being played by Eastern Michigan, but Ball State traps Hab in the far corner. Left side now, Hart, he tries a three-pointer and cans it. Carlos Hart with the first points of the matchup, 3-0 Eastern Michigan with 2 minutes gone.
First points from Carlos Hart, outstanding three-point shooter, just a little under 40% on the year for him. Really productive at that guard position.
As Armani Ziegler takes it up for Ball State. He swings it over to the far corner with Devin Barnes, drives in, mid-range jumper in and out of the rim. Addison Patterson takes it up as he got the rebound. Mason Jones guards him as he takes it coast to coast. Drives baseline in a bit of a jam, has to swing it back out top of the key to Hart. Over to the far side now with Green. The lob up, Hab, back to Green, drives in, the tip up off of the miss from Wabude, and they're going to say a goaltending, or basket interference, I should say. No basket, Ball State. As they get it waved off, they have possession.
Yeah, it's a good call there from Wabude, but looking at this Ball State defense, they're not going to get anything allowed on screens. This Cardinals team does a really great job of hedging screens quickly, and then the backside help rotating down below into the paint.
Under 17:30 to go in the first half. 3-0 Eastern Michigan over Ball State. Devin Barnes is in a trap on the left side perimeter. Elmore James now controls it at the top of the key. Pushes into the paint. Fade away from the free throw line. Gets it to fall. Elmore James gets the scoring started for Ball State. 3-2 Eagles. Eastern Michigan now controls with Patterson. Braylon Green with it. Fakes right. Goes over to Patterson. Fadeaway jumper on the far side. Misses it. Rebound, it's controlled by Wabude. Foul called on the floor, a jump ball. It goes in Eastern Michigan's control.
Ziegler's really lucky that Patterson wasn't able to finish on that jumper. The one blemish of Armani Ziegler is his off-ball defense has been a concern, has had some struggles following his guy.
Now it's Hab, guarded by Elmore James. He was double-teamed, had to go over to Hart straight away. He thought about another top-of-the-key three. He instead defers out over to Green. Hart once more. He drives in, far block, poked away, up in the air. He gets his own miss over to Hab on the pass. He goes glass and good. 5-2 Eastern Michigan.
And that all happened because Ziegler was lost in defensive rotation. Again, a woe from him off ball.
Mason Jones at the top of the key. Takes 2 dribbles to his left and hands off on the far corner to Elmore James. Ball State working the perimeter with a screen from Preston Copeland off to the right for Armani Ziegler. He pushes in. Spin move back behind in a jam. Bounce pass baseline. Preston Copeland up and over and good. 5-4 Eastern Michigan the lead, but Preston Copeland gets another 2 points.
Cards are very reliant on the pick and roll, and so many times Copeland is left open on the high roll. Finally able to capitalize where they're there.
16 minutes to go in the first half. 5-4 Eastern Michigan. It's been a grudge match thus far. Hart with a spin move on that far block. Blocked from behind on the shot from Preston Copeland. And a foul on the floor as Devin Barnes was going the other way. The foul goes against Carlos Hart. That leads to a timeout called on the floor, a media timeout as Eastern Michigan holds a 5-4 lead, but Ball State getting some momentum in their favor.
Yeah, that's a really tough 10 seconds for Carlos Hart. Looked like he was calling for the ISO there on Elmore, and he beat his guy. The problem is Copeland was instinctive enough to swat that ball down really quickly. Then as Barnes starts taking it up, transition, take, foul. Just a tough scene for the redshirt senior who, with so much game time and experience, he's smarter than that. He knows not to make plays like that. It's just early on they're kind of getting the jitters out of the way, and Ball State has been taking advantage of that. Now they find themselves only down 1.
Yeah, we're about 4.5 minutes into this matchup. 5-4 our score in Eastern Michigan's favor. It's just been a defensive battle so far. We're still very early into this matchup. Why do you think that is?
Well, both of these teams all year have struggled on the offensive end, but they've made up for it in their defense. And one of the things that either squad does so well is they are very quick to double or trap or hedge, some sort of way to get so many arms in the ball carrier's face. And as soon as that ball comes out, they're very quick in getting back into rotation and making sure it's not a blender. Whoever can pass the ball more, find the open man, and continue to swing the rock will start getting much more productive down the stretch. And it's a concern for when you get more tired. And we saw it with the Eastern Michigan-Ohio game. When the Eagles got tired, they lacked discipline in their defensive rotations, and it led to open shots for the Bobcats, including the buzzer beater right at the end there.
It's crazy to think if you leave someone open at the half-court line, you're thinking, oh, no problem, but look at what happened in the end.
Well, even when you look at a situation like that, I understand that the shooter is at half court, but there's also 2 seconds left. You can't let up at all. There were 2 missed free throws to start the play, but generally coaches will tell you to get back as the other player's taking it up. You can't. You got to stay up on him and make sure there is no chance at getting a last-second shot. Jackson Pavletsky is smart enough to see the opening and take it in a move of desperation, and it just worked out for the Bobcats.
I think the tough thing, too, is balancing, well, you want to play good defense on that half-court shot, but also, what if you foul him? That's 3 free throws.
That's an issue, too, because then you're in the bonus. It's 3 shots. I would rather have someone take 3 free throws for the game than take a half-court shot. And maybe that's a hot take for me, but it's really simulating the pressure a lot more for that shooter.
You know what? I'm with you right there, Dylan. We're out of the timeout. Ball State goes left to right. They trail 5-4, 4 minutes in. Armani Ziegler on the left wing. Lasers over to his right to Devin Barnes. The handoff back to Ziegler. Lob inside Jones. Kick out, right wing. James for 3. Off the left side, and the poster for Ziegler on the putback. How about Armani Ziegler with the highlight play?
We talk about the Jamari Hill dunk last year. That one might have been even better. Used a little bit of a Chambers boost off of his man Patterson and finishes with the jam.
6-5 Cardinal lead. Armani Ziegler puts that man on Sports Center. Hab near side. Feed over to Green. The lob up on the far side for Shuan. Misses. Eastern Michigan still in control, though. Patterson on the left side. Shot clock expires. Cardinals clamp him down. They called a travel, though. It was right at the buzzer. They called traveling before the shot clock violation. But Michael Lewis, you saw it. The entire Ball State bench, they were fired up.
It was a bit of a slow start for Ball State, but you can hear it on our crowd mic. Worthen is alive, well, and rocking.
John Chanu is out there for Eastern Michigan. So is John Sanders. Chanu started against Ball State last season. Armani Ziegler, he takes it up on the right side of the court to the near corner. Jones hands over Barnes right side. Ball State still on the perimeter with half of the shot clock down. Bounce pass underneath the basket, up and under. The foul called as Elmore James took it. He'll have 2 free throws as Ball State holds a 6-5 lead over Eastern Michigan.
And there's our impact player. One more time, Elmore James had a really nice jumper right at the free throw line earlier and able to take advantage of the hole in the defense, get a swat on his arm, and now he's at the line for 2.
Elmore James, a 75% free throw shooter, gets the first one to fall. We mentioned it earlier, 10 points scored in each of the last 2 matchups, or double digits. He had 11 against Buffalo. As he looks to make this a 3-point game, he does just that. 8-5 Ball State just under 15 minutes to go in the first half. Eastern Michigan makes a sub, and then look at this. This is important. Mac Mansell checks in for John Chanou. The last time Mac Mansell played here at Worthen Arena, he was with Detroit Mercy, and he suffered a serious leg injury that sidelined him for months.
And it's great to see him back out there. We know how good of a player he is, leads this team in three-point percentage. What a threat he is from the perimeter, and it's so great to have him back on the court and have his presence.
But John Sanders carves his way in. A floater from the MAC logo off back iron. Copeland leaps up to get the board for Ball State. Just over 14 minutes to go in the first half. Cardinals by 3. Ziegler pushes in with his left hand. Mansell behind him. The kick out on the left side, Devin Barnes. Ball State does reset near the Cardinal head with about 12 on the shot clock with Devin Barnes. Another give on the left side of the perimeter to Ziegler. Elmore James drives in. No-look pass to the near corner. Jones tries a three and hits. 11-5 Ball State. Mason Jones from downtown.
Coming into this game, Jones led the Cardinals in three-point percentage, now over his mark of 40% on the year. From a forward, are you kidding me?
Carlos Hart pushes in. Preston Copeland wrestles him for the ball. He puts it up and gets it to fall. Great response for Eastern Michigan from Carlos Hart to make it 11-7.
He's 215 pounds as a guard and can move really well, too. He's so physical and just showed it going toe-to-toe with Preston Copeland.
Elmore James on the right arc. Armine Ziegler takes it in. He's pickpocketed by Hart. Goes to the near corner for Elmore James. Goes up and strong to the cup. Elmore James for 2. 13-7 Ball State.
And that was over the lanky arm of Mo Habhab. What a play from James, showing he's got a deep layup bag too.
Patterson back outside over to John Sanders as Eastern Michigan slows it down with Mansell poked away, but Eastern Michigan retains possession right at the top of the key. Sanders right side, bounce pass into the paint for Habhab, double teamed up and over and good. Mo Habhab getting the Cardinal defenders lost, 13-9.
It's a great play from Habhab, but Michael Lewis is beside himself right now, wanted a call, and it's been a pretty frustrating season so far for him. You can tell he's mad.
Stripped away by Patterson. Mansell, he tries a three-pointer. It's off the back iron. Habhab the offensive rebound, but he's fouled on the way down by a Cardinal. It goes against Preston Copeland. Eastern Michigan does inbound on the left side of the basket, and they do make a change. Godslove Wabude checks back into the matchup, comes in for Carlos Hart. Ball State makes a couple of changes of their own. Cam Denson and Davion Hill check in for Preston Copeland and Elmore James.
And we've seen them come off the bench, especially in some of the more recent games. Denson is somebody who can be physical as a forward, but also has great spot-up shooting. And Davion Hill, what a spark plug he is. He just brings so much energy off the bench. He's good enough to be a starter, but all of the intangibles that he has means he can captain the bench squad.
Mansell the lob up. It's taken away by Ziegler in the perimeter. Davion Hill, fast break. He is hit hard on the foul. Took the shot, hit the deck hard. He's fouled in the process. Davion Hill to shoot 2 free throws.
We're happy to see that Hill is okay. In that Buffalo game, did something on an awkward fall to his left foot. Took a hard fall there after the hit from Wabude, but still functioning and still has all his limbs attached.
Yeah, when you look at the Ball State injury report as it is, you don't want to add another name to that list as Hill hits the first free throw. We were talking about it earlier. No Caden Fish tonight, no Jawan Maxey, and no Joey Hart. But besides all of that, Ball State, they still hold a 5-point lead over Eastern Michigan, make it 6 as Davion Hill goes 2 for 2 from the stripe.
It's been great, but the lack of a bench is only more dangerous as the game goes on. There's 11 healthy guys, and that could be a cardio issue down the stretch.
Mid-range jumper for Habhab on the far side falls. 15-11, Ball State leads. Just a little over 12 minutes to go in the first half. Devin Barnes takes it up. Was in a bit of a double team. Lasers over left side. Ziegler a three-pointer. Too strong. Patterson the board. in transition, fast break, long pass for Hab. Saved it from going out of bounds on the baseline, but Ziegler takes it away for the Cardinals. Goes coast to coast, strong take to the cup and good. Armani Ziegler is unreal, 17-11 Ball State.
That dude is one of the deepest layup bags in the conference, but Eastern is very clearly playing fast after the Hill free throws.
John Sanders, a near corner three. He responds. Eastern Michigan cuts it to a one-possession game with under 12 minutes to go in the first half.
I mean, it's hard for us to keep up, but this game is going by so quickly, and it means it's so much fun, but quite a mouthful.
Don't be shocked if I lose my voice. Far corner three. Devin Barnes responds for Ball State, 20-14. Eastern Michigan maybe looking to make this a three-point shootout. We'll wait and see as John Sanders, the transfer from Northwestern State, takes it up. Addison Patterson on the right side into the mid-range area. The kick out top of the key to Hab. 10 on the shot clock. Drives in with his left hand. Gets Hill to miss. Up and under to the cup. Swirls out. Patterson the offensive rebound. Back outside to the perimeter. Patterson tries a three. It misses. Foul called as Hab got the offensive board for Eastern Michigan. Goes against the Cardinals. That leads to a timeout on the floor with 10:42 to go in the first half. Ball State leads 20-14 over Eastern Michigan. We're going to send it to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Ball State men's basketball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Ranked #1 in the nation by the Broadcast Education Association. This is Ball State Sports Link with Sports Link Digital Radio. 10:42 to go in this first half. Ball State a 20-14 lead over Eastern Michigan. So far, it's been highlighted by the play of Armani Ziegler, a tough take layup, and of course, a poster dunk. You can't beat that.
Well, I mentioned such a thing as the Chambers boost, and Ziegler exercised it right there. When you've got forward momentum getting high in the air, if you kind of deflect your body against someone, it allows you to get even higher. It's the reason why guys like Anthony Edwards and Ja Morant can get so much airtime on their dunks. It's because they can use the defender's body a little bit to put them even higher. Ziegler is smart enough of a player to do that himself.
Is that named after NBA legend Tom Chambers?
It is.
How about that? Eastern Michigan to inbound on the left side of the basket on the baseline.
If I'm not mistaken, it was Sean Kemp dunking on Chambers.
Underneath the basket, it's Green. The kick out straight away. Sanders to the near corner. Hart drives baseline, up and under. What a tough take and good for Carlos Hart. 20-16 Ball State.
That kid can do it all. He's such a versatile guard and amazing acquisition by Eastern.
Davion Hill at the top of the key. The give to Elmore James left side. Devin Barnes straight away three-pointer, too strong. Long rebound, Cam Denson for the Cardinals. He's fouled in the process, hits the deck hard, but stays here with Ball State. good to see Cam Denson back. With all the injuries, Cam Denson playing his 3rd straight game for the Cardinals. He was out for a while due to injury.
Yeah, and I touched on him a little bit before. He's a versatile forward. He's got height and reach and physicality and really can act as a guard, a forward, and a center. It's a perfect small forward that you want in your conference.
Devin Barnes with a strong take, misses left. John Sanders with the rebound for Eastern Michigan. He takes it coast to coast. The dump off the green as he drives in, pickpocketed by Denson, gets it right back, put up a shot, and it swirled out. Now up goes Davion Hill, under 10 minutes to go in this first half. Ball State a 20-16 lead over Eastern Michigan.
This Cardinals team that is supposed to be fast is getting outrun by Eastern right now.
It's Devin Barnes at the Cardinal head, now Elmore James. He has 6 points on the day, and an offensive foul against Ball State called an illegal screen on Cam Denson.
It looks like Denson will come out for Preston Copeland. Coach Lewis erupted on Denson right there. I think the issue was he didn't fully set himself and almost declare to his defender that he was going to set that screen. He kind of just stood there and took the bump. I understand it in a quick game such as this one, but simple mistakes that you can't make, especially when you're a graduate student like Denson.
Hey, that's what happens when you're indecisive. Lob up for Hab. Preston Copeland fouls him from behind. And a pair of changes as Ball State has Armani Ziegler checking in for Devin Barnes. Eastern Michigan, out goes John Sanders. In comes Makai Ellison. First time we're calling Ellison's name today.
It's an interesting decision to have him in. He's had less minutes since conference play has begun, but already he's making Davion Hill run around like crazy.
Maybe that was the purpose, as there he is, straight away. It's Ellison. Feed over to the right side. Rubio drives in left hand. He ends up traveling in the process. There's another player when Aiden Rubio right there that since conference play has started really hasn't gotten as many minutes, but here he is now.
Certainly, and Rubio's an interesting guy. At Macomb Community College, he even played with Juwan Maxey of Ball State, but these substitutions that Eastern has made is very clearly for speed. They are trying to beat the Cardinals in their own game right now.
Preston Copeland on the far side, poked away Hab, but the Cardinals get it back at the top of the key with Elmore James. 11 on the shot clock. James drives in, pickpocketed from behind, out of bounds, goes off of the Cardinals on the baseline over to Eastern Michigan.
Ball State is up by 4, but these last few minutes have been pretty disastrous. They're losing the battle of speed and pace, and when they try and reassert themselves, they've been making mistakes just like that one.
A 2.5-minute scoring drought for the Cardinals. Carlos Hart on the right side to the far mid-range area, kicks out. It's Braylon Green. Between the legs, over to his right to Hab. Eastern Michigan spreading the love on the perimeter. Right side Ellison, a bounce pass to Hab into the paint baseline, feed over to Green, middle of the paint. To the near corner, Rubio, pump fakes at 3, drives in, takes the shot at the buzzer and good. Aiden Rubio, his first points of the matchup.
What a great job by the Eagles to continually pass that ball. Greg Popovich would be so proud of the way they distributed there and found the opening.
Elmore James, right wing, feeds over to his left to Armani Ziegler. Pushes it inside, takes a jumper as it goes off the right side of the rim. Eastern Michigan moves quickly with Hart on the far corner. Now it's Ellison straight away, a screen to the left, now to the right from Hab. Draws the double team. Left side Green. Lob up inside Hab, double teamed by the Cardinals. Hands off to his right to Hart. He's in trouble with 10 on the shot clock. Hab's able to get a lane to the basket. He's fouled on the shot, so Mohamed Hab to shoot 2 free throws. But another timeout is called with 7:39 to go in the first half. Ball State leading 20-18.
And now Coach Lewis put his head in his hands after that one, is now coaching his true freshman Preston Copeland, pats him on the chest and says, "You're okay." The issue with Copeland there is he was defending the dribble handoff to Hab and then was able to be beat inside where there isn't any help for him. It'd be one-on-one and Copeland would find himself behind. That's catastrophic if you want to be a center, especially in the conference. What Lewis was saying to him in a very animated fashion, as we've come to know and love, is you've got to be straight up. Just keep your hands straight, move your feet, show your defender your hands, and that'll shut down pretty much every attack down low like that.
And speaking of Michael Lewis, let's just talk about both coaches. Let's start with Eastern Michigan with Stan Heath. His 5th season at the helm at Eastern Michigan, but outside of the Eagles, he's done so much in the college basketball world. 2002, after being an assistant under Tom Izzo at Michigan State for many years, including a national championship win. Actually, the last time a Big Ten team won a national championship when Heath was an assistant for Izzo. 2002, as a head coach, takes Kent State to the Elite Eight. That led to him getting a job at Arkansas, later USF as a head coach. But then in the G League, leading the Lakeland Magic to a 2021 G League championship. After that, taking the Eastern Michigan job where he hasn't had a season above 500 yet.
I mean, this guy is the epitome of the term globetrotter, right? He's seen it all. He's done it all. He has 3 Coach of the Year nods, one of them in the MAC with Kent, one in 2012 in the Big East, and then in 2021 in the G League with the Lakeland Magic after winning that championship. How many people can say that? I don't think many at all.
And especially because the G League, it's tough. A lot of great coaches in the G League, especially that year. You also look at Brian Shaw as another guy. There are so many great coaches that come out of that G League. And Stan Heath, in his 5th season with Eastern Michigan, last season made the MAC tournament, looking to get back there this year, but trying to make some shockwaves in the MAC tournament, as last year they lost in the first round of Miami.
Well, it's also not often, I have to touch on Heath again, it's also not often that you will see a head coach continue to be a head coach at multiple positions. A lot of times you may see them work their way up and then become an assistant coach again before working their way up to head coach. But Coach Heath has fronted all of his levels for an extensive number of years in his career.
Yeah, then you compare it to Michael Lewis, who after a successful year at a successful career as a player under Bob Knight at IU as a point guard, was an assistant for UCLA in their Final Four run, 4th season at the helm for Ball State. As Eastern Michigan at the free throw line, it's Mohamed Habhab to shoot free throws. 20-18 Ball State, 7:39 to go in the first half.
That first year with Lewis was really productive for the Cardinals, but just haven't really been able to find similar success, just about around 500, maybe a little bit below in the years following.
Habhab's able to get the first free throw to fall. But what better of an opportunity than right now to turn it around, especially we're only 2 games into MAC play for this season.
Certainly, and I know you mentioned it before, but the Cardinals found themselves in a position to be in one of those last spots in the tournament and frankly just collapsed. I believe they lost 5 of their last 6, maybe more, and it eventually knocked them out of that 6th spot in the tournament. You can't have that happen again. These people are demanding success.
20-20 as Hab went 2 for 2 from the stripe. Denson on the near block, fouled in the process, but it's an offensive foul they call against Denson.
I believe it was a charge called on the forward Denson.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was just saying there, I was a little surprised.
I'm stumped.
But Eastern Michigan, they do have possession with Makai Ellison taking it up right to left. Just north of 7 minutes left in the first half, a 20-20 matchup, a 6-0 run for Eastern Michigan. Left side, Braylon Green, the lob up over to Patterson. Cross-court pass to Ellison on the right wing. Eastern Michigan on the perimeter still. Bounce pass top of the key. Green, he tries a three-pointer. It swirls out. Offensive board goes strong and good with Carlos Hart for the Eagles. 22-20, Eastern Michigan the lead.
I get that it was a quick rotation for Davion Hill, but he's got to close out faster than that.
Left wing, Mason Jones thought about a three-pointer. Instead fires to his left on the far corner to Elmore James. Cam Denson straight away, while Boudet guards him closely. Pushes inside, drives baseline. Foul called on the floor. Goes against Waboudet. Didn't have his feet set as Denson drove in on him.
I believe the Eagles were trying to go for another charging foul on Denson, but that time, as you said, Waboudet didn't set his feet. Denson known to really come downhill hard on his defenders, and trying to take advantage of that, or the visitors that time couldn't do so.
John Sanders checks back in for Eastern Michigan, comes in for Makai Ellison. Davion Hill to inbound left side of the basket. He lobs over top of the key to Armani Ziegler. 20 is on the shot clock. Ziegler drives in, goes strong with it, and good. Another tough take for Ziegler, 22-22. Just north of 6 minutes to go in the first half.
And a scoring drought is broken. Eastern Michigan was on an 8-0 run in the last 4 minutes. Cardinals finally able to respond now to tie it up.
Carlos Hart, he looks to respond at the top of the key. Gives off right to Patterson. Back over to Hart on the left wing. Pushes in right side, pass over to his right. He has an open man in Green as he hits the three-pointer. Braylon Green makes it 25-22 Eagles.
And once more, it's an issue on Armani Ziegler. Went to the top of the key and should have flown out to the corner on the rotation.
There is Ziegler to drive in baseline. Back out Denson. Mason Jones at the top of the key. The kick out. Denson pump fakes on the three. Circle move into the paint. Back out to Armani Ziegler, trips and falls on his way into the basket. And whistle blown on the floor. Goes over to Eastern Michigan in their possession. Ball State does make a change. Devin Barnes checks in for Davion Hill. Eastern Michigan to inbound on the far side. They move right to left.
Cardinals are starting to play fast again and continuing to make mistakes. Denson was almost called for a travel on that jump stop, and then Ziegler falling over as he was trying to curl to the elbow.
And now they say Ball State, as Armani Ziegler will inbound on the far side. Eastern Michigan was set up as if it was them. 3 on the shot clock. Ziegler a deep three off the back iron. Wabude the long rebound for the Eagles. John Sanders the leaping effort as Wabude saved it from going out of bounds on the baseline. Sanders straight away, fires to his right to Hart. Patterson resets for Eastern Michigan. Step back, three-point shot, cans it. Addison Patterson makes it 28-22.
At 6'7", 220 pounds, that was such a silky move. Step back three, put Mason Jones in a blender. Just beautiful basketball.
Under 5 minutes to play in the first half, Cam Denson is fouled hard on his way to the rim by God's Love Wabude.
And Wabude has had some foul trouble recently. He has 5 games with 4 or more fouls, 3 of them being in his last 5 games. Multiple times he has fouled out at this point in the year, and you don't really want to see that so early into conference play. Now there's a little bit of a conversation for foul trouble.
Yeah, Hab checks in for him. Mansell checks in for the Eagles as well. Ball State to inbound, left side of the basket with Armani Ziegler. Feeds it up top to Elmore James. Under 20 to go on the shot clock. Far corner, Cam Denson pushes in with his right hand. Goes strong, swirls out. Cardinals offensive board. Able to go to Eastern Michigan as it was tipped up in the air. Cardinals had it for a moment. Patterson goes coast to coast, blocked by Denson, goes out of bounds on the baseline. Patterson's trying to say he got fouled, but Cam Denson all ball that time.
Patterson, it looked like he tried to do the Pino step to get Denson to fly by him, but great play from Denson to keep his arms there and swat it down.
Hab on the near side, just outside of the paint. Cardinals bring 2 over to him. Eastern Michigan spreads it around the perimeter. Hart tries a floater and gets it to fall. Takes 2 hops on the rim and in. 30-22 Eastern Michigan. Another 6-0 run for them. Devin Barnes drives in on the baseline far side. The kick out to Cam Denson on the left wing. Just a little over 4 minutes to go in the first half. And a travel called against J. Anthony Bearden of Ball State. Eastern Michigan back in control with an 8-point advantage. Let me remind you, Ball State at one point led 22-20. Eastern Michigan, they have scored 10 straight points.
And we saw with both teams, for Ball State, the Buffalo game, and for Eastern, the Ohio game, they're very streaky squads, right? So even though Eastern is up by 8 right now, in the same way Ball State was up by a wide margin earlier, this game is very far from over.
Hart has it stripped away on the right wing. A fight for the ball on the floor, a jump ball. The possession arrow is pointed over to Eastern Michigan. And with 3:49 to go in this first half, a timeout is called, a media timeout. Eastern Michigan a 30-22 lead over Ball State. We're going to take a quick timeout right before halftime. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Behind every strong hip and knee. Behind every strong shoulder.
Good catch.
Behind every strong team is our highly skilled team of experts in orthopedics. IU Health is the official healthcare and sports medicine provider of Ball State Athletics, and we're here to keep you moving. From acute injuries to chronic pain and conditions, go where the athletes go. Walk-in appointments for new injuries are available Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you can always schedule a same-day or next-day appointment and wait from the comfort of your home. Visit iuhealth.org/MuncieOrtho to learn more.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
For the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos, and SportsLink program information, you can find this at ballstatesportslink.com. Again, ballstatesportslink.com. 3:49 to go in the first half. Eastern Michigan leads 30-22 over Ball State. Really, in the last couple of minutes, it's been all Eagles. An 8-0 run in the last 2 minutes, and really as a whole, the last 7 minutes, a 16-2 run. Why is that the case?
Well, we're watching this team just get better and better, and frankly more acclimated with one another before our very eyes. We talked about how there are so many newcomers, and it takes just an extra beat to move as one cohesive unit. But as this game has gone on, Ball State, they really jumped out early, but Eastern was able to figure them out pretty quickly, figure out the way they play their defense, the tenacity that they do, and now they're able to exploit it and attack it. With 3 minutes and 49 seconds left in the first half, now you have to look to Coach Michael Lewis and say, how do you adjust either right now after the timeout, or do you take some time to think about it and try something new when the second half comes around?
Carlos Hart to inbound, left side of the basket for Eastern Michigan. 11 points already for him. He's coming off a 4-point performance. He has bounced back, to say the least. Lobs it up for Patterson on the right side of the perimeter. Pick and roll. Ziegler pokes it away, but Eastern Michigan gets it back at the Cardinal head. Addison Patterson, handoff to his right with Green. Bounce pass far side, Hab. Three-pointer as they kick out to Mansell, and he hits it. Mac Mansell makes it 33-22, an 11-0 Eastern Michigan run.
It's a great pump from Mansell, because we've seen so many times that the Eagles were one more pass away from the shot. It meant Ziegler went flying the other way, and an open look for Mansell.
Devin Barnes, hands off over to his left to Elmore James. Armani Ziegler controlling on the right side of the perimeter. Just under 10 to go on the shot clock. Now 5. Ziegler controls at the top of the key. Pushes inside 2 on the shot clock. Goes strong, and he's fouled underneath the basket on the shot. Ziegler to shoot 2 free throws. Ball State is in the bonus as well, with Davion Hill coming to check in. Down by 11. This has just been nuts. 7.5 minutes. Eastern Michigan on a 19-2 run over Ball State now.
But with the bonus and with these teams getting tired at the end of the half, it does bring an added wrinkle to the lack of fouling from Eastern Michigan. But I'm really confused as to why Ziegler didn't get that ball to Mason Jones on the pick and roll. I really thought that he had an open lane. Ziegler could just put it a little higher than that Eagles defender, and it would be an easy lay. There's been a lack of a presence down low for Ball State as per the norm all year, and it's been disastrous.
Yeah, I saw the look on your face. I think you were looking for that. As Addison Patterson takes it up, Ziegler goes 1 for 2 from the line. It's a 10-point Eastern Michigan lead, just under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Fadeaway jumper from Patterson on the near side is good for 2. 35-23 Eagles. Patterson coming off a 17-point performance against Ohio and a buzzer-beating loss. Davion Hill in the near corner pushes inside. He's fouled by Hart. on the floor. But remember, Ball State in the bonus, so Davion Hill to the free throw line.
Now Hill gets to shoot the 1-and-1.
With a 12-point Eastern Michigan lead, Davion Hill goes to the stripe once more. He's 2 for 2 on the day. Make it 2 for 3. The rebound by Green for Eastern Michigan.
Especially early in the year, the Cardinals really struggled to get those free throws down. Those are called free points for a reason. You got to be able to take advantage.
Free throws. Top of the key, Braylon Green fires over to his right to Patterson. Back over to Green to the left side. Bounce pass, looks for Hab, goes between his legs and intercepted by Ziegler, coast to coast. The kick out, James. Now he drives in underneath the basket. Another pass outside, left wing Jones. Ball State slows it down, but a bounce pass down low to Elmore James. Up and over, Strong, misses the rim and all. Hab gets the rebound.
So many missed opportunities on the back end for these Cardinals. Coach Lewis is, again, beside himself, so frustrated that the Cardinals haven't been able to capitalize on anything.
To the far side perimeter, Mac Mansell. He lobs up for Hab. Once again in a double team. We've seen that time and time again from the Cardinals. Underneath the basket, wide open from a pass from Hab is Mac Mansell for the layup. A 14-point Eastern Michigan lead. A timeout called by Michael Lewis.
Very quickly, as I said before, he's known to be pretty animated and has really great sign language to his guys. He's looked at his guys immediately and said, talk to each other, communicate with each other. Right there, easy layup for the Eagles, right under the rim at any level, Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA. You can't let that happen. The Cardinals just did so. You need a chance to talk it over now, especially being down 14 at half.
Yeah, the Cardinals right now with 1:34 to go until halftime. They've only made one of their last 8 field goal attempts, and they haven't had any field goals made in the last 4 minutes and 49 seconds.
Well, in the Buffalo game, they found themselves down 16 at halftime, and they lost to Miami as well shortly before that. The difference is Miami and Buffalo are 1-2 in the conference. Eastern Michigan is 9th in the preseason poll, right now 8th.
And can you believe that Miami, they haven't lost a game all season?
I'm surprised that they're not ranked. Amazing job by them.
Hey, head coach Travis Steele doing an incredible job with the Red Hawks. Davion Hill drives in for Ball State, spin cycle, but misses the layup.
I know they're our rivals, but great job from the Red Hawks. You
gotta
can't
give
be
props.
mad.
Gotta give props.
You can't be mad. You gotta respect good basketball, and that's what's going on in Oxford.
At the top of the key, Hab, the handoff to his right to Braylon Green. Eastern Michigan slows it down. Mason Jones intercepts the bounce pass intended for Hab. Cardinals, Devin Barnes, left wing three-pointer off the left side of the rim. Green the board. Under 1 minute to go in this first half. Shot clock still on. Eastern Michigan, a timeout called as Braylon Green took it across the half-court line and quickly called it.
And now Coach Heath looks pretty frustrated with his guys. Hart looked like he was going to really slow the game down a little bit, just milk the clock until half. But I think Heath is having a conversation with his folks. Now you find yourself in the front court saying, why not pour onto this lead? We can get out of here early.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there was some frustration with the pass that Mason Jones got on the turnover. That could be it as well. But either way, you're up by 14. It's just been, especially in the last 5 or 6 minutes, a really great showing for the Eagles.
Yeah, and some of it is some errors that we've seen from Ball State all year, but the biggest thing is just that the Eagles have been really advantageous of their opportunities. They've exploited the weaknesses of Ball State really well. This is clearly a very good game plan from Coach Heath and his coaching staff, and everything that they could have wanted has happened in the past 12 or so minutes. It was tough from the get-go, but polar opposite of what happened in Ohio.
A 14-point Eagle lead. Eastern Michigan in control, left side of the court. On the right side, John Sanders lobs up for Hab, far side into the far corner. Double team and a double dribble called. Ball State draws up the turnover. Cardinals now in possession.
You're not going to find yourself close at the end of this half, but it's little plays like that can get some positive momentum going. Now it's a chance with 30 seconds left to try and just whittle that lead down a little bit more.
Here we go, Devin Barnes to take it up. Down by 14, left to right he works. Guarded by John Sanders. Just about a second separating the shot and the game clock as Ball State slows it down as much as they can, trying to get that last shot, even though it wouldn't quite be the last shot. Get it down as much as they can. As at the top of the key, Ziegler trips and falls. A foul called on Braylon Green. A little bit of contact, so it didn't quite trip and fall. Maybe tripped off of Green, but a foul as Ball State's in the bonus. That sends Ziegler to the line.
And again, a chance to really turn that lead down. I don't know how much contact there was with Green, to be honest. It seems pretty minimal to me, but still a chance for Ball State to get something going. I understand trying to get that last shot, but now Eastern will have a chance with about 5 seconds to do something.
Ziegler is able to swirl it in on that first free throw. 37-24, 5.8 left on the game clock. Shot clock is off.
And the reason you want to take that last shot is because with Eastern ahead so much, and the chance that you miss and the Eagles can score, that's a 4 or 5 point swing right there.
Makai Ellison takes it up. Lob up into the paint, 2 on the shot clock. Up and over, good at the buzzer for Addison Patterson. How about that to send you into the second half for Eastern Michigan? 39-25 over Ball State.
And Armani Ziegler has to be frustrated. In a situation like that, all of your guys have to get back and stay home, defend the basket, opposite of what we saw from the Ohio buzzer beater. But neither here nor there. Ziegler's got to get back on that.
We go into halftime. The Cardinals trail by 14 as they look to bounce back in the second half. We'll be right back with halftime coverage. You're listening to Ball State men's basketball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Looking for flawless awards, trophies, plaques, medals, or engraved keepsakes right here in Muncie? Head to Awards Plus, your hometown expert for over 25 years. Located at 301 West Main Street, they're the area's leading trophy shop, serving the Muncie and surrounding area. Awards Plus delivers top quality with attention to detail and fast, reliable service. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Stop by or call 765-282-3511. Awards Plus, where the achievements take center stage. A proud partner of Ball State Athletics.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paintwork on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
From Trivia Night at Brothers and Tater Tots at Roots.
Never miss a Ball State game with SportsLink Digital.
Ball State men's basketball halftime report. They trailed 39-25 to Eastern Michigan. But I think the biggest casualty of all so far was that half-court shot hit our very own Ryan Lewin on the head as it missed that badly. That's got to hurt, man.
He's still a little rattled. You know, I love the opportunity. Halftime, half-court shot, some sort of incentive on the line. He even got 2 shots because the first one missed so far left. I don't think it even touched backboard. And, you know, he decided let's throw a little bit more power into it. But when you're that far away, it's pretty difficult to manage and hit the top of the scoreboard and then domed one Ryan Lewin. That's just tough scenes.
Dylan, if I gave you 10 attempts, are you draining that shot?
You know, it's easier said than done, but after enough time as a kid just messing around in a driveway and trying to shoot from as far as possible and seeing just how limitless range might be, I really think I could.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'll say it. I averaged 10 points per game in 8th grade.
There you
I am hitting that shot.
Absolutely you are. I mean, when I think spot-up shooter point guard, I think Roen Elbert.
I was more of a big, but I'll give you that.
I've played enough basketball with you, man.
Oh, man. We don't want to get into all of that. But Ball State, they trail by 14 to Eastern Michigan, a matchup that really, it was neck and neck. Ball State at one point, they were leading by more than 6, but right when it got to 2020 is when Eastern Michigan took over and really ran away with this one.
Well, and we talked at the very beginning of this game and had said that we have to see changes of pace, and Ball State has to play fast or Eastern Michigan may have to slow it down. Now, it turns out, as what happens to be the case a lot, I was pretty wrong about that. Eastern comes in and dictates the pace, not by slowing it down, but by speeding it up so much that Ball State, a team that is known for small ball, can't keep up with the Eagles. And Worthen is stunned right now because this is just uncharacteristic from the Cardinals squad.
We haven't seen anything like this, especially at Worthen Arena. But looking at Eastern Michigan, the star of the show has been Carlos Hart. 11 points, 5 for 6 from the field. Hart was coming off a 4-point performance against Ohio, but let's not forget, before that stretch, he was averaging 24 points per game in his last 3 matchups before that 4-point performance. So you know what Carlos Hart is capable of.
Well, and we chatted a little bit off air that some of these stars need some get-back games, and Carlos Hart was one of them. 4 points, going 0 for 5 from the field against Ohio. And then Mo Habhab only 3 points after going 0 for 11. So uncharacteristic of him. And those are generally your 1 and 2 options. And they managed to stay in it after really great games from guys like Addison Patterson, who had 17 points leading the way for the squad. But it was very clear you're going to have to feed Hart and Habhab one way or another, just try and get them going. And fortunately for Eastern, both of them are hot.
Yeah, Mo Habhab has 8 points and 4 rebounds right now, 3 for 4 from the field. I've been impressed by that line because Ball State, they've double-teamed, tried to take him out of the equation, but it really hasn't worked.
It's very clear that once they get to the attacking half court, these Cardinals are trying so hard to trap, especially when there's shots or opportunities at the corner. Just shut down the court, give the Eagles less room to work with, but it's still been working. One way or another, whether it's a skip pass or just getting through your defense or finding a weakness and finding a hole, one reason or another, Eastern has been still finding ways to capitalize on the way Ball State is conducting their defense. Now, what's tough news for Ball State is there isn't just one way that Eastern is winning. They've been able to win down low in all sorts of different facets. So you've got to stop at least one, hopefully all of them in this second half, but then you leave yourself open for spot-up shots where Eastern's been good as well. They've really been efficient from the field today. There's just not much that Ball State has been able to do really to stop them. They've been able to rack up a number of steals, as we've seen with guys like Ziegler and Jones, who have a handful each on the year, but even so, when they get to the back end, they haven't been able to capitalize. I know I mentioned in the Buffalo game that it's kind of a comedy of errors, and it's starting to feel like that again here on their home floor.
What it's been so far for Ball State is just the shooting. It's been a complete struggle for the Cardinals, to say the least. Eastern Michigan's shooting 62% from the field. Ball State, they're shooting 33%. How can the Cardinals get better looks in the second half?
Well, and we've chatted off air about this as well, that there's such an issue with the Cardinals with getting open shot looks. And it's because so often they have this thing that they do a lot where there's a lot of high pick and rolls from beyond the three-point arc. There's so much lateral movement without really getting downhill. They're trying to take advantage of their lack of strength in the paint to where they can try and set up shots for their guards by playing around right at that 3 or right at that mid-range level. But because teams expect that and because teams can do a great job of hedging or icing or whatever they may do in their screen defense, the one roller, whether it's Mason Jones or Preston Copeland, gets to be shut down pretty often. And the blender doesn't even have to start for the opposing defense, meaning all of those guards and shooting forwards are covered. There's not much going on off ball. It's generally on ball pick and roll action, but there's not much screening or movement or anything to get your other guys open. So there might be some sort of action with the ball carrier, but they're not moving as one cohesive unit to, have some long developing play where, oh, boom, Armani Ziegler is wide open on the wing. They keep throwing up desperate shots when the shot clock is low, so they're milking time and missing the shot, and it's the reason why they haven't been able to hit threes, especially all year.
Yeah, but on a positive note for Ball State, Armani Ziegler, 9 points, and win or lose for Ball State, no matter what happens, for days, we're going to be talking about that poster dunk he had in the first 5 minutes.
Well, and I wouldn't be shocked to see that on SportsCenter. He's amazing down low, even as a guard. One of the really, really good layup packages in the conference, and has the physicality and vertical, as we just saw, to absolutely yam it on somebody. What an amazing acquisition he's been for the Cardinals. But I've talked a lot negative-wise towards these Cardinals in the first half, but there are so many bright spots on this team nonetheless, and one of them very easily is Armani Ziegler. Just such a dynamic player he is.
Oh yeah, because we can dwell on the negatives all day, but Ziegler has really been a bright spot for Ball State, and if the Cardinals want to make a comeback in half number 2, it seems like that would be the guy to lead the charge.
And when in doubt, you got to feed your stars, and the biggest, brightest spot on this team is Armani Ziegler. It's him, it's Davion Hill off the bench, and it's Mason Jones down low. They have the stars and the personnel to contribute and fight their way back in this one. The question is whether they do or not. But after watching this team for so long, it is a really talented squad, and that's why there are some people that are so frustrated with it, because it feels like they're underperforming.
Yeah, especially when you look at that first matchup of the season against Louisiana. It just seemed like everything was falling into place, but since then, they've only won 3 games, and 2 of them were against non-Division I opponents. Still looking for that first MAC win. It's their 3rd game of Mid-American Conference play. Boy, oh boy, would it be huge for Ball State to just get any kind of momentum in this second half.
I mean, the vibes were immaculate against the Ragin' Cajuns. And like you said, everything was clicking, and the Cardinals had really gotten into gear. Even with all the new faces in their first game together, it worked out quite nicely. It's strange that the growing pains came after a game like that, but even in game 1, the Cardinals saw some adversity, finding themselves down at halftime, had to come back in the 4th quarter to win that game, and what really was a fun contest with Coach Quantus White and his guys. But it just goes to show that this team is really talented and really capable. It's just a matter of execution.
Because these are the matchups you have to win. Even though it's the 3rd game of Mid-American Conference play, every game in the MAC is important, especially this one, because these are 2 teams that are relatively close in the standings. Eastern Michigan 8th, Ball State 12th, but a win for the Cardinals could put them right there with Eastern Michigan. 2 teams that could be fighting for a spot in the MAC tournament down the line. You got to win these matchups.
And in several sports and several games that we've called together, it's not easy to forget that MACtion is alive and well. Anyone can beat anyone, anywhere, anytime. Ball State, although they're down 14, they're still very much in this game, and they will continue to be until the final buzzer, because so many games are so close that one little play here, one mistake there, changes everything.
With a 14-point Eastern Michigan lead, not too far from second half action. But before we take a quick break before the second half, what are some keys to the second half for both teams?
Well, for the Cardinals, I want to see more of an attempt down low in the paint. There have been multiple chances where you don't even necessarily have to use your bigger guys like Mason Jones and Preston Copeland, but there have been multiple times where a backdoor cut from Elmore James or Armani Ziegler or a guard as such has gotten open, and they've been able to get shots off in that spot. So for the Cardinals, I just want to see them embrace the challenge more, be a lot more physical, and come out with this grittiness that is unable to be stopped. Now, for Eastern, it's business as usual. It feels like they've figured out this Ball State defense right now, and whatever's going on with the half-court trap, as long as they can continue to swing the rock and stay disciplined in their defense and offense nonetheless, but especially their defense, they will probably walk out of here with a win. Now, I know you mentioned keys, but I do have to highlight a matchup that's really been intriguing to me. Right before the first tip, I had said, look out for Armani Ziegler versus Addison Patterson, and that has not disappointed. Patterson with 7 points, Ziegler with 9. The two of them have been on each other all game long, both of them with highlights and lowlights. I want to see what the conclusion of that looks like.
Second half action just moments away. We'll be right back with Ball State men's basketball on SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
SportsLink is the official production partner of Ball State Athletics.
All the chirp you can handle.
For the best stories in Ball State sports, our latest videos, and SportsLink program information, you can find this at ballstatesportslink.com. Again, ballstatesportslink.com, just moments away from second half action. The Eastern Michigan Eagles a 39-25 lead over Ball State. A packed house at Worthen Arena on a Tuesday night. Ball State looking to mount a comeback. Remember, they were down by 16 at halftime in their last matchup against Buffalo. They ended up outscoring Buffalo in the second half, but it didn't matter. They ended up falling 85-72 in the process.
You gotta love some MACtion on a night like this, Roen. I mean, it's a Tuesday night. It's the first week of the semester. It's syllabus day for a lot of these students on campus. You know, a lot of teachers saying, here's what's going to go on in this class. Here are my expectations. This is an A, this is a B, this is a C. But we've got about 5 or 6 rows at Cardinal Chaos being filled. We've got a lot of fans in the stands in the middle sections. It's always a packed house in men's basketball here in Muncie. It is a basketball state and certainly a basketball school as well. Such a fun environment to be in.
Take my advice. Enjoy syllabus day while it lasts. And that's what it is right now. As Mason Jones takes it up for Ball State, they go right to left to open the second half. To the far corner, Armani Ziegler fires over to his right to Elmore James. Cardinals spreading the love on the perimeter. Devin Barnes pushes his way in. Up and over, strong to the glass, misses it off the back iron. And Eastern Michigan with control with Patterson left to right.
Davion Hill is already checking in. That was one possession down.
Hey, get it in quick, I guess, as Green pushes in but goes back outside. Patterson straight away for Eastern Michigan. Hab on the high block, hands off Hart. 8 on the shot clock, drives in baseline. Back over, middle of the paint to Hab, stripped from behind, but they call a foul against the Cardinals.
Believe that was on Ziegler. I waxed poetically about the matchup between Ziegler and Patterson. It looks like they've switched that, where Elmore will now be on Patterson, and Ziegler in turn will be on the standout guard, Carlos Hart.
It makes you wonder how that matchup will fare. They called on Mason Jones. It's his first foul as Mo Hab gets the first one to fall. 9 points for him. Davion Hill comes in for Devin Barnes. Like you were saying, we're not even a minute into this second half. That was a quick change.
I really don't know. The only person that knows why that could happen is Coach Michael Lewis. We weren't able to be in that locker room, and I wonder if that was a conversation coming into the half.
Misses the second free throw. Mason Jones gets the rebound for Ball State right at the free throw line. He is fouled as the Cardinals take it right to left. Elmore James the inbound. Eastern Michigan, they bring 2 up, bringing a soft press. 40-25, Eastern Michigan the lead over the Cardinals. Davion Hill in control. The Cardinals in their gray uniforms, the Eagles in their black. Mason Jones on the right arc. Carves in with his left hand, lasers over to his left to Elmore James on the perimeter. Now James drives in, strong take. He misses it short. Eastern Michigan 5-on-4 as James hustles back. Far corner, Green, he tries a three-pointer, it's short. Long rebound, a fight for the ball. It goes out of bounds on the far side, and it goes to Ball State. Went off of Wabude of Eastern Michigan.
Props to Elmore James. He went coast to coast to get that ball into Ball State's possession after getting completely stuffed on the back end.
Davion Hill takes it up, 40-25 Eagles. About 18:30 to go in this matchup. Hill at the Cardinal head. Armani Ziegler pushes his way through the defense as Davion Hill was looking for a man. He's on the left wing, fires to his right to Mason Jones. He hands off Elmore James straight away, I should say, as Hart poked it away, but they call the foul against Carlos Hart. That's his third.
I don't necessarily agree with that call. It was an errant pass from Jones to Davion Hill, and because of that, Hart is just going for the ball. I think the casualty of hitting Hill's arm just happened there, and I get that the whistle's going to be blown, but still a tough call from the official.
18-11 to go in this matchup. Ball State in control. Straight away, Elmore James. Preston Copeland, a screen to his right. Draws the double team. Kicks it out far side, Davion Hill. Pushes inside. The give into the paint for Mason Jones. Puts it up. It's short. Hab the board. Braylon Green takes it up. On the right arc, Mason Jones on the guard. They lob up for Hab. Once again, a double team from the Cardinals. They find an open man straight away with Patterson. Now to Hart on the left wing. Carves his way through the defense, puts up a shot in the middle of the paint. He is fouled. It'll be 2 free throws for Carlos Hart.
Great job by Hart there to drive in on James, use James's momentum going out against him, and a little bit of a pump, work his way in, and attack that top hit of James and draw the foul. Well done.
Hart with 11 points so far today. His 5th school in 5 years, his final year of eligibility. Hits the first free throw, a transfer from Valdosta State, where he was first team all-conference over there.
Yeah, can you, this guy was a D2 player. He was at the JUCO level and then Valdosta State Division II. Now he finds himself at a MAC school and he's been crushing it this year.
Goes 2 for 2 from the line, 13 points. He's been crushing it in this game. A big part as to why Eastern Michigan is up 42-25. A little under 18 minutes to go in this one. Davion Hill spin cycle, puts it back up and misses long. Preston Copeland the offensive rebound. They reset with Davion Hill off of the handoff from Copeland. Hill, he hands off to Armani Ziegler on the right side. He drives in while Boudet guarding him. Lays it up short. Copeland tries to get the rebound. It goes off of him, out of bounds on the baseline as he juggled it. Goes to Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, and the Cardinal guards, a little bit of discombobulation right now. That shot attempt from Hill was a floater with his non-dominant hand. Ziegler, the floater of his own, and then Copeland going for the rebound. Hit the bottom of the backboard and pinballs out of bounds.
That's MACtion for you, I guess. Mo Hab on the high block. The handoff over to Patterson. Eastern Michigan spreading it alongside the perimeter. Top of the key, Hart. He tries a three-pointer. He gets it to go. Carlos Hart, 16 points, 45-25 over Ball State.
It was only a matter of time before he started cooking from beyond the arc. One missed shot all day today after 4 points against Ohio.
Davion Hill, the drive inside. The kick out, Armani Ziegler on the left wing. He stops, he hesitates, goes off to his right to Mason Jones. Davion Hill commands it at the top of the key. Lasers over to his left. Elmore James, a three-point try, swirls out, goes out of bounds on the baseline. Off of Mason Jones, though. Eastern Michigan back in control. 20-point lead, 16:09 to go in this matchup. The Cardinals yet to score in the second half.
And those are the desperation threes that I talked about at halftime. The shot was for Elmore. There wasn't any movement or action or anything to try and get James open. He stood in the corner for 15 seconds of the possession, and when the ball came to him, he just had to throw it up.
John Sanders takes it up. Haven't called his name much. On the right side, it's Addison Patterson on the perimeter for Eastern Michigan. Back over to him on a touch pass. Right wing three-pointer, it's Cash. Addison Patterson, 48-25 Eagles.
Cardinals are trying to mix it up in their defense right there, running a 3-2 zone, but we saw the Eagles attack a 2-3 really well when Ohio ran it last game.
Davion Hill, he looks to respond with a top of the key three and hits. A 20-point Eastern Michigan lead. Those are the first points for Ball State in this second half. Eastern Michigan, they quickly respond with Hart underneath the basket for two. Foul on the floor on the inbound against Eastern Michigan goes against Addison Patterson. Leads to a media timeout with 15:21 to go in this matchup. Eastern Michigan, a commanding 22-point lead over the Cardinals. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Today we have two very special guests on our program, introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right. Oh, I like it. So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership, and here's why. We stand behind every car we sell and are dedicated to helping our customers save time and money. All our pre-owned cars undergo a rigorous 182-point inspection and come with a 90-day warranty to ensure that you're getting a Victory quality vehicle. Plus, you'll get 2 years of complimentary oil changes and tire rotations. We're part of a top 15 dealership group and have an enormous selection of vehicles with access to inventory at over 45 locations. You always get more for your trade and the best possible rates with us. We have an excellent relationship with hundreds of lenders. Our exclusive Car Doc maintenance and membership program will help you save hundreds of dollars in the process of maintaining your vehicle. Lastly, our state-of-the-art body shop and certified technicians perform high-quality repairs and paint work on most vehicle makes and models. Victory Honda of Muncie. We're not just another car dealership.
We return with 15:21 to go in this matchup. Ball State trails 50-28. I'm Roen Elbert, joined by my good pal Dylan Budd. Cardinals have control, right to left, Davion Hill to inbound, but Ball State in this second half, only 3 points scored.
And it just came off of the arm of Davion Hill after hitting it, but then somebody went completely behind the Cardinal defense. Even when Ball State tries to get something going, they've been... Every time they've had their foot up, it seems they just keep messing up.
Far side, Davion Hill. He's guarded by Hab straight away. Resets with 10 on the shot clock. Moves over to his right, has a screen from Copeland to his left. Pushes in, the kick out. Barnes inside the three-point arc, misses it short. Patterson inhales it. Eastern Michigan takes it left to right. Under 15 minutes to go in this one. A 22-point Eagle advantage. Carlos Hart controls top of the key. The lob up inside for Hab. Now to the far corner, it's Green. Dribbles in with his right hand. Swings across near corner looking for Sanders. It was poked out of bounds by Elmore James on the baseline. Goes to Eastern Michigan. Eagles, they do inbound on the near side with Carlos Hart.
I think it came off of Elmore's arm when he didn't even see it. He was getting ready to fly out to the corner and just hit his arm and sailed out of bounds.
One of those moments for Eastern where it's better to be lucky than good. Hart at the top of the key, 1 on the shot clock. Left side the 3 from Green, rims in and out. Right side, Devin Barnes pushes in baseline in a jam. The kick out to Mason Jones on the right side. Tried to spin his way into the cup, couldn't do it. Devin Barnes back in control. The handoff to Hill. Pushes in, guarded by Patterson into a double team. Back to Devin Barnes straight away. A screen to his right from Mason Jones creates a mismatch with Patterson. Elmore James, the drive inside goes glassing good. 2 points for Elmore James, 30-50. Ball State still trails by 20.
It's really nice to see James drive in and provide a physical contest. Now all these guys are showing their hands in what looks like a 1-3-1. The Cardinals mixing it up on their end.
Don't see that often as John Sanders drives it in. Bounce pass underneath the basket for Patterson. Puts up a mid-range jumper and good. 52-30. Addison Patterson quickly responds for Eastern Michigan. Devin Barnes takes it up. Mason Jones straightaway three-point try off the back iron. Tries to get his own rebound. Loose ball on the near side. It does go out of bounds on that near side right at the half-court line off of Addison Patterson into Ball State's control.
Ball State caught a break there. I really thought that Jones had saved it, at least from our perspective, but it would have been a breakaway layup or dunk for Addison Patterson. And in a matchup where you're down 22, that could be icing on the cake, certainly in the momentum department.
Wabude checks in for Hart for Eastern Michigan. Mansell also checks in. So far today for Mansell, 5 points in his first game back at Worthen Arena since last year playing for Detroit Mercy, where he suffered a serious leg injury, sidelined him for 2 months. It was yet another major injury. When he was at Arkansas State a couple years back, he missed an entire season due to injury. So it's just great to see him back on the floor with Eastern Michigan.
Absolutely, and he's made his presence felt with his 5 points, one of them being a beautiful three-point shot where he was able to create by himself. Certainly no hindrance from him.
Elmore James on an island straight away, goes inside the perimeter, puts up a jumper, it's short. Wabude gets the board, hits the deck hard. Foul called on the floor. It goes against the Cardinals.
I think it was Davion Hill that got the call, but he came flying in from the corner to try and contest the board, and you got to start really getting those rebounds, especially on the defensive end. And I understand the foul call, but one way or another, it's a good job from Hill to try and be instinctive and just claw for everything.
Hey, you also have to love just the hustle from Davion Hill. That's why he's so fun to watch.
And every time he checks in, you can see it. It's the hustle, it's the energy. The best term for him is easily a spark plug.
John Sanders, the former Last Chance U star, takes it up. Hands off to Hab. Wabude now controls straight away. The give to Sanders at the top of the key. He drives in, goes strong underhand and good for 2 points. 54-30 the Eagles lead.
And with Jones getting beat underneath, it meant Copeland had to play drop coverage with the man behind him. No contest on the Sanders layup.
A little over 12 minutes to go in this matchup. Ball State, they trail by 24. Elmore James backs down a defender. Goes to the near corner for Barnes. The kick out right side. Davion Hill on the perimeter. He pushes his way inside on the baseline. Near side, poked away by Wabude and out of bounds on the baseline off of Eastern Michigan. It stays here with the Cardinals. 5 on the shot clock. And a review, looks like some review is going to be called. Stan Heath was calling for that for Eastern Michigan, I think about who it was out of bounds off of on that baseline.
As soon as Patterson went down, he made eye contact with that official and certainly pleaded his case about, I think Davion Hill touched that ball last. Certainly was a little more animated about it, but the one unfortunate thing about being here in the Eagle Eye is that we can't really see what's going on. We don't have any insight as to whose possession that is, who touched it last, all that good stuff.
Was that done on purpose, the Eagle Eye?
Yeah. Eastern Michigan comes to town, you can call it the Eagle Eye.
But Eastern Michigan, especially after what happened last year, just heartbreaking loss with that Fat Hill poster dunk for the Cardinals, especially because both teams were fighting for a MAC tournament spot at that point. Eastern Michigan in the end ended up getting it, but that was so heartbreaking. It has to be great for Eagle fans to see the score how it is right now here in Muncie.
Well, the last 2 games have been split as well, and the Ball State one being in overtime with such a crazy finish. Like you were saying that, as a Ball State student, I think we're happy to review over and over again, but certainly it's their get-back game right now, right? Eastern has the Cardinals in their home court, right where they want them, up 24 with 12 minutes to play. I mean, they've got their number.
It's funny because for that Fat Hill play in that game, you were sitting in that exact chair, maybe not that exact spot, or maybe I'm wrong, maybe it is.
It was right here. It was with Braden Carroll, who lost his mind on the air in a really fun
That's a bit
call.
of an upgrade, I will say. To have him, that's a bit of an upgrade, I will say.
We love Braden Carroll. He had a great call, and our dear friends, we got the chance to do that ESPN broadcast, and our friend AJ Switek had a really amazing call as well, and our good friend Mick Tidrow had a great call of his own. Just, it's what you get for having a play that was that insane.
Yeah, the national attention it got. SportsCenter Top 10. Dan Patrick was talking about it as well the next day on the radio. Stuff like that, you just don't see every day in this conference.
And now Jamari Hill finds himself at, I believe, George Mason University. He's making a name for himself over there as well after coming here for 1 year and absolutely showing out. And this is a very talented roster that the Cardinals have, but to replace somebody like Hill is so difficult. His first step was better than anybody in the conference. He was so explosive, tall and lanky for a point guard. He knew how to distribute, but he was so effective in the mid-range game, which is a struggle for these guards this year. And his dunking power, his ferocity under the rim was second to none.
Jamari Hill is the perfect example of what Michael Lewis has been very good at Ball State, and that is finding diamonds in the rough at the JUCO level, and that includes this year's team with guys like Davion Hill, Cam Denson. I can go on and on with these guys that he's found at the JUCO level that have really provided great production for Ball State.
Well, he's masterful at recruiting guys and bringing folks in that either are more deserving of a school like in the MAC, like Ball State, or are at the JUCO level or Division II, Division III, NAIA in the past. Bringing guys like that in and seeing the good in them and saying, I want you, I believe in you, and continuously being proven right. Like you said, most notably out of this year's group of transfers, Davion Hill, the sixth man coming off the bench, coming from a JUCO at his level as well. What a spark he's been. He hustles for every play and every point. And the kid was a junior college player. Unbelievable.
Ball State, the call on the floor stands. It was out of bounds off of Eastern Michigan. 1 on the shot clock. Mason Jones throws it up, an air ball, shot clock violation against the Cardinals. But another timeout called on the floor. As Ball State now, they still trail by 24. Michael Lewis not looking happy after that exchange.
Well, I believe that's now the media timeout because the review was with 12:04 left. Now we're at 11:58.
Yeah, that would make sense because that was clearly a shot clock violation.
Certainly, and Jones just had to throw something up, but he had 2 Eagles on him. There's just not much you can do there. Fadeaway shots, something he doesn't do very often. Doesn't even touch backboard or rim, and that's why the violation was called.
Yeah, we'll be right back. We'll take a quick timeout. 11:58 to go in this matchup. Eastern Michigan, they lead by 24. You're listening to SL Digital Radio, presented by Victory Honda of Muncie.
Sometimes it's not the moment. It's the moment before the moment. The moment you make a choice. The moment you take control. The moment only you can own. Gainbridge lets you invest on your terms. So you're not only in charge of this moment, but all the moments to come. Start investing now.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix, guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. And you never compromise your appetite with our golden brown bread that's baked fresh in store. And you never compromise your wallet with our lower prices. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
The best stories in Ball State sports, plus live broadcasts right in your timeline.
Follow us at BSU SportsLink.
And we are right back. with second half action. 11:58 to go. Ball State trailing 54-30 to Eastern Michigan. Out of the media timeout, the Eagles have control. The Cardinals, we're about at the halfway mark of the second half. They've only scored 5 points in this half.
And now it's desperation time. Being down 24 with just under 12 to go, now you've got to start doing things that you haven't done before this season. Start taking crazy shots. Start calling for more on-ball screens. Get tighter on defense.
John Sanders takes it up left to right for the Eagles. Eastern Michigan in black, Ball State in gray. 20 on the shot clock, still with Sanders. Devin Barnes guards him closely. Pass off to his left from Mansell. Back over on the right wing to Sanders as he hits the three-pointer. 57-30 Eagles.
It's a great use of lateral movement there from Eastern Michigan, something Ball State has struggled with. Preston Copeland was out on an island, didn't know where to go, and lost his man.
Cardinals back in control with Mason Jones. He fires to his left to Elmore James. Defers off to his left to Davion Hill on the perimeter. 10 on the shot clock. Ball State still spreading the love on the arc. Bounce pass into the paint for Mason Jones. He loses it. Left wing three-pointer Devin Barnes. He misses on the right side of the rim. Mansell, he inhales the miss for Eastern Michigan. 11 minutes to go in the matchup. Addison Patterson controls it straight away for Eastern Michigan. Mansell guarded by Mason Jones. Feeds inside for Hab. Double team, kicks out, straight away. Sanders, back iron, misses the three.
And in a spot like that, it would have been an amazing heat check for Sanders. Same spot, same three, but Ziegler and Denson waiting in the wings, possibly after Davion Hill and Preston Copeland have had issues off ball.
Mason Jones fadeaway jumper inside the paint, swirls out. Hab gets the board for Eastern Michigan. Now it's Patterson. The fifth-year player for the Eagles takes it up. Mansell on the far corner. Eastern Michigan slowing down the pace. Hab has it on the near block. Underneath the basket, stripped from behind. Preston Copeland comes away with it.
And yet another steal from Mason Jones.
Ball State moves quickly, though. Now they slow it down off of the fast break with Elmore James. Fires over to his left to Davion Hill. To the right side, Devin Barnes. Pass into the paint for Jones. Pass across court to Davion Hill. Left wing three from Elmore James off the side of the rim.
It was a good job to keep the rock moving, and James was the right man to take the shot. Just 2 straight missed threes from him.
Hab looks to his right on a pass. It's tipped out of bounds by Davion Hill of the Cardinals on the near side. Stays with the Eagles. Ball State makes a pair of changes. Cam Denson and Armani Ziegler, they check in for Preston Copeland and Devin Barnes. Eastern Michigan, they make a change of their own. Out goes Wabude, in comes John Chanu. On the near side to inbound, it's Mo Hab, the Central Michigan transfer. Only played 1 game there last season. The pass was inbounded into Ellison, who gave on the near side to Mansell. Straight away it is Ellison, a screen to his left from Hab. 8 on the shot clock, into the paint, Hab, no look pass, Chanu, he slams it! 59-30 Eastern Michigan, under 10 minutes to play. Eastern Michigan up by nearly 30. Pure domination tonight.
Amazing work from Eastern, and a dunk like that from Chanu, all momentum is killed.
Mason Jones goes strong underneath the cup, gets 2 for Ball State, 59-32. Still under 9 minutes to play in this matchup, but Eastern Michigan with a commanding lead over Ball State.
And now they finally start to slow their offense down to continue to milk that clock.
Foul called on the floor. Looks like it goes against Chanu. Well off ball on Elmore James. It was on that far corner where it occurred, so the Cardinals get possession off of that.
What's an interesting wrinkle, these Eagles, no one has more than 2 or more fouls. No one has 3 fouls or more for Ball State. Both Denson and Copeland, their bigger guys, have 3 each. And in a game where it's going to be only more physical, you can't make that contact.
A foul on the floor. The Cardinals had an open look on the far side for Elmore James. Foul was called on the pass from Davion Hill. It stays here with the Cardinals as Armani Ziegler inbounds on the far side, left side of the court. 59-32, Eastern Michigan the lead. Davion Hill, he controls it on the right arc with his right hand. Chest pass underneath the basket for Cam Denson. Backs down Hab. Double teamed, up and under, too strong. Hab inhales it.
Denson did 4 pumps under the rim and still didn't get an Eagle to jump.
Hart straight away. He controls it for Eastern Michigan. Mason Jones guards him with half of the shot clock down. Pass to the far corner for Ellison. A three-pointer. He cans it. Makai Ellison, 62-32, a 30-point Eastern Michigan lead.
And a shoulder shimmy from the senior. Well-deserved. Beautiful from the corner.
Armani Ziegler, bounce pass to the near block Denson, to the far corner Hill, back iron, misses the three-point try. Back in transition, Ellison tries another three off the right side of the rim. Chanu gets the offensive board for Eastern Michigan, tipped out of bounds on the pass back out to Ellison from Armani Ziegler. A timeout is called on the floor, a media timeout with 7:26 to go in this matchup. 30-point Eastern Michigan lead, and more than likely Eastern Michigan will come away with their 8th win of the season and their 2nd win in MAC play.
And they've gotten to the point where they're really playing with their food. There was a heat check there from Ellison. The entire bench got up in celebration before Ellison could even shoot. But as Ball State continues to miss threes, you really miss guys like Juwan Maxey and Joey Hart right now. The Cardinals shooting 23% from beyond the arc, 16% in this half. Unacceptable numbers, and you really miss spot-up shooters like Joey Hart and Juwan Maxey, especially right now.
Yeah, to look at the upcoming schedule for Ball State, the next time they're in action will be this Saturday at UMass at 3:30. UMass, they're yet to win a MAC game in their first year back in the Mid-American Conference. For Eastern Michigan, their next matchup, it's against an in-state rival this Saturday at Western Michigan at 1 o'clock, and that will be the final game of their 2-game road trip.
And UMass right now at 10th in the conference, also 0-3, but 10th because of their 9-6 record overall, and not exactly a warm welcome back to the conference, I would say. And then Eastern, as you said, that trip to Western Michigan, they're 11th, still looking for their first MAC win at 0-2, 6-8 on the year. So certainly some struggling teams ahead. For Ball State, you can look ahead and see if there's a chance to bounce back against one of these other lower opponents. But for Eastern Michigan, especially in the chance that you win this game, it's a chance to start stacking wins and building momentum.
Yeah, then you also see later on in the schedule next week for Ball State, they visit Akron, the reigning MAC champions, who even though they're 1-1 in MAC play, that one loss came to Miami. It was head coach John Gross losing to his little brother, Travis Steele.
Well, and that's why it's hard to evaluate teams this early, because Akron right now is technically 7th record-wise in the MAC, but we know that this team is really scary. Miami is at the top of the conference, and Buffalo following undefeated records, as well as Kent State and Toledo, but Akron at 7, only a loss to Miami, dropping them so far down. That's still a team you got to look out for.
As Eastern Michigan controls it out of this media timeout, Ball State's still in the huddle with Michael Lewis, a 30-point Eagle lead. And even though this is, for the most part, out of reach for Ball State, what do you think the objective is for the Cardinals in this final 7 minutes and 26 seconds?
Well, if the game is lost, there's still things you can build off of. There are still ways that you can try and figure yourself out, get your footing under you, and I think that's what Coach Lewis is trying to do with his guys now. Although you're down 30 with 7.5 minutes left, there's damage control that you can do, or you can try and turn things around, burn the tape, but you know that you ended it with a little bit of success in some capacity to try and build off of when you're facing UMass.
Left side, Ellison pushes it in for Eastern Michigan. He has to hesitate, goes to the far corner at the buzzer. Hab tried a three. It was too long. Doesn't even graze the rim. A shot clock violation.
It's little things like that you can build off of. Eastern had another one of those plays that there was a lot of movement on and off ball outside of the three-point arc, and it gave a chance for Hab to put it up. Without that much time, Denson was able to contest, but still a stop for Ball State nonetheless.
Mason Jones into the paint. The kick out, straightaway three-pointer. Hill, it's short. Ellison fights for the board and gets it. It's Mansell who takes it up. Just under 7 minutes to go in the second half. A 30-point Eastern Michigan lead. Looking to go to 500 in MAC play with a win. Bounce pass into the paint. Cam Denson pokes it away for the Cardinals. In transition, Elmore James up over and good. 62-34 Eastern Michigan leads, but you'll take that any day from Elmore James.
Hey, down 30. As soon as Ziegler got that steal, it was a 4-on-2. These Cardinals are fighting till the very end, and you got to respect that.
Carlos Hart in control for Eastern Michigan. Open driving lane to the cup and short. Chanu picks up the mess with the slam. 4 points for Chanu, and all of them have been dunks. 64-34 Eagles.
And that's why he started against Ball State last year, because he can build momentum for his guys in dominating fashion.
Free throw line jumper for Ziegler is cash. 64-36, the Eagles out in front. Under 6 minutes to go in this matchup.
He's the second Cardinal in double figures, but only 4 Cardinals with 5 or more points.
You could see Eastern Michigan going towards the end of their bench. Gregory Lawson just went to the scorer's table, the true freshman. Ellison fires to the far corner. It's Hart who misses on the left side with the three-pointer. Mason Jones takes it up for Ball State. Cardinals move quickly. Ziegler, the drive, swirls out on the shot, but he draws the foul on Chanu. It'll be Armani Ziegler to shoot 2 free throws for the Cardinals. For Eastern Michigan, a pair of changes made. Aiden Rubio checks in for the second time today, a redshirt junior. Gregory Lawson also checks in, but looks like they got another change coming up with Merritt Alderink, the Indiana State transfer who has missed the last 2 games due to injury, but good to see him back.
I also see Gregory Lawson, the freshman guard, checking in.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Lawson, a guy who had plenty of offers at high school from Arizona State, Arkansas, Florida State, Louisville, a team that Eastern Michigan lost to early on in the year. But he chose the Eagles. Ziegler hits the second free throw, 64-38 Eastern Michigan. Alderink at the top of the key, hands off over to Ellison. He's able to get control as Ziegler poked it away. Alderink tries a three-pointer off the right side of the rim. Goes out of bounds on the baseline off of Ball State with Devin Barnes. The last time we saw Merritt Alderink was December 22nd against Wright State.
And he only registered 1 rebound in 11 minutes of play. Sounds like he had been dealing with something, but good to see him get some action and work his way back in.
Eastern Michigan back with it. It's Ellison on the left wing, 13 on the shot clock. Pushes in with his right hand, spin move out. In a jam, has to throw it up off the right side of the rim. A fight for the board. After 2 hops off of the rim, Ball State's able to get it with Armani Ziegler taking it up. Cam Denson had the board. Ball State back with it. A little bit of an update. 74-48 Eastern Michigan leads with 1:24 to go. Sorry, we lost you for a little bit. Hasn't been the best day for Ball State men's basketball. I guess there too represents it.
Certainly some technical issues here, some lost in connection.
Devin Barnes hits a mid-range jumper for the Cardinals. 74-50 Eastern Michigan the lead. Gregory Lawson left to right. The Eagles work. Eastern Michigan about a minute away from their 8th win of the season. Going back to 500 overall and in MAC play. Lawson motors into the defense. Fadeaway jumper off the left side of the rim. Goes out of bounds off of the miss as Cooper Smith tried to save it for the Eagles. Goes out anyway.
And having some of the guys in the third unit and farther end of the bench, it's really fun to watch because it's all the guys that are fighting for more time. Hustle becomes a factor in all these guys that just want more minutes.
The Cardinals, on the other hand, they still have 2 starters out there with Ziegler and Barnes. A foul was called on the floor. J. Anthony Bearden tried to drive in for Ball State. The Cardinals are in the bonus, so it'll be J. Anthony Bearden with the 1-and-1. 31 seconds to go in this matchup. Bearden looking for his first points of it. He's able to hit the first free throw. Ball State does go to a change with Easton Foster from Monroe Central High School. A true freshman checks in.
Hometown kid Foster, fresh out of Monroe Central.
It swirls in. 2 for 2, Bearden goes. Lawson left to right. About a second separates shot and game clock. Eastern Michigan just taking their sweet time with a 22-point lead over Ball State.
Shot clock and game clock are almost even, but it's going to dwindle nonetheless.
It's Rubio on the right wing with 5 on that game clock, and that'll all but seal it. Shot clock violation with .9 on the game clock. And that's all she wrote here from Worthen Arena. The Ball State Cardinals, they end up falling 74-52 to Eastern Michigan, and there's the final horn. Goes down as the 8th win of the year for Eastern Michigan, their 2nd in MAC play. The Cardinals fall to 4-11 and 0-3 in the MAC.
Amazing work from the Eagles in this one. Just completely, they were down a little bit early, but took their losses and ran with them. Advantageous of all of the Cardinal mistakes today, but more than anything, it was less of a Ball State mistake and more of Eastern Michigan just being really talented with their play and doing such a great job. Again, props to Coach Heath and his staff for an amazing game plan as to how to stop Ball State. That now becomes the blueprint for the rest of the teams in the MAC as to how to stop these Cardinals.
Yeah, 74-52 win. Dylan, when you look at the final stats, for Eastern Michigan, who was a player that really stood out?
You know, we talked about the need for their stars to show out, and they did just that. Hart with 16 points of his own, and then Hab in double figures as well, also with a number of rebounds, leading the Eagles in that department as he normally does. They're the 2 guys that needed a get-back game, and they did just that. Clearly, Coach Heath was scheming them up to get open.
Yeah, when those 2 are hot, it's really hard to stop Eastern Michigan as they showed tonight. Such a big bounce-back win for Stan Heath and his squad.
Now, looking at the Cardinals, you only have 2 guys in double figures, but those are the 2 that we were looking out for all game long. Armani Ziegler with 15 and Elmore James at 13. But the biggest concerns that I have is shooting percentage from the field and from 3. In this game, the Cardinals making just a third of their shots from the field, 31% from 3. Inversely, Eastern Michigan 58% from the field and 52 from 3. It's not often that you see a team in the positives in shooting, and they were able to do just that. No matter what level, you got to be proud of your squad for being able to put shots in consistently.
Yeah, this broadcast is produced by the students of Ball State Sports Link and presented by Victory Honda of Muncie. For your next new or pre-owned vehicle, drop by the showroom at the corner of McGalliard and Morrison Roads in Muncie, or visit victorymuncie.com. Again, that's victorymuncie.com. Dylan, any final thoughts on this performance?
Well, I briefly mentioned it for Ball State, but you got to burn the tape. There's a whole lot of conference play left. It's a tough loss that you have to swallow, but you've got the meat of your schedule coming up right ahead of you. You've got to be able to move on and continue this forward progression, start building momentum for your squad. Eastern Michigan has a little bit of an easier way to do that, coming off of this dominating win that they just had by 22 points. That's amazing at any level. And for them, they can just continue to ride that wave.
Final score, Eastern Michigan 74, Ball State 52. Dylan, it was a pleasure to have you with me in the booth as always. Ball State back in action this Saturday on the men's side at UMass. But for SL Digital Radio, you can catch us tomorrow night as Ball State women's basketball, they play host to Toledo at 7 o'clock. It'll be me and LJ Shreve on the call. But until then, I'm Roen Elbert. That's Dylan Budd. And good night, Muncie.
This has been a production of SportsLink Digital Radio.